We see eye to eye, 'cause we're. All right, good evening. I'm gonna make this really quick. I got a little art project going on, okay? And I don't know, I just want to come on and talk about that. Now, I'm not gonna show you what the project is, okay? Hopefully if I like it, you'll see the finality of it all. But I'm kind of seeing some stuff already that's kind of bothering me. It involves feathers. Okay. And so it's shedding a little bit, but you can always just kind of adapt, and make things the way you want it to be. Okay. If I feel like too much is coming off, then I might take some of, take some of these off or take them off altogether. I just have to see as I work with it. But I got it because, well, I'm not gonna go into all of that, but I got this. I went to Egypt maybe about, was it 2021? I got an opportunity to go to Egypt, okay? And I always wanted to go to Egypt. I always wanted to take my daughter. So let me tell you guys this story about this, okay? So this trip comes up to go to Egypt. At the time I had Sister Locke. So the lady who was my consultant, okay, my daughter had Sister Locks. I should show you a picture of my daughter when she had Sister Locks. Here, I'm going to show you real quick. You can kind of see it on this picture a little bit, but you can't really see her that well. So hold on. She doesn't have them anymore. She got them when she was 5, and by the time she was 10, she wanted them out. I sat there and I picked out all of those Sister Locks. Okay, it took me a long time because it was sometimes days, weeks I wouldn't do it. You may not be able to see that well, but that's a picture of me and her. I had traditional locks, and there go her little Sister Locks, and there she go right there. Now the reason it's up like this is because I think this is the time when I was taking them down. So in the back, I had taken most of them down and she still had them in the front. Okay. But anyway, her Sister Locke consultant at the time, well, no, she was no longer her Sister Locke consultant. By that point, she was my Sister Locke consultant. When I had Sister Locks, I took my daughter's Sister Locks down by this point. These pictures, she's like 10 because she had them for 5 years. So, I had known, her consultant or whatever, and she worked in a small shop, and her, what was that? I think that's her niece-in-law or something like that, who I had known for years. We could not remember to this day. It's like I can't remember how we met. Probably in theater because she does acting. She makes her own films. I was in one of her little films one time. I don't know whatever happened with that because she would make these films and then she would submit them to these independent film, I don't know, projects and all of that kind of stuff. So, but the one we had done right before, the lockdown with COVID, and I think something happened that where they weren't able to submit them, but I'm sure by now she was able to submit it. I don't know whatever happened with that, but anyway, and at the time I did not know they were related. Well, by marriage, but they were still related, and I didn't know. So they invited. There was another lady that worked in the shop who was a sister lock consultant, and she invited them on a trip to Egypt with a group from. Were they out of Atlanta? I can't remember. Well, the group was out of Atlanta, but then the lady who she was like the coordinator of the trip. She was from, I believe, New York. So on this trip to Egypt, it was just people from everywhere. We really had a great time. Okay, I always wanted to go. Like I said, I wanted to take my daughter. So what happened was my daughter's birthday is in August, and back I have two passports. I keep all my passports, okay? So I have two passports. One of her when she was a baby. She's so cute. I should show you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I'm just gonna show you guys her picture. I got this. I got it when she was like two. No, she wasn't even two. Look how cute she is. But anyway, when I first got this, you did not need both parents' signature. Okay, so I just got it. Well, of course, it expired by the time we went to Egypt. Well, her dad didn't want her to go, but I wanted her to go. So I said, well, I'll just wait till she's older. And I looked up the passport, all the information online. And it's like by the time they're age 16, they don't have to have both parents' signature. They only have to have one parent's signature. And I live in Cleveland, so the Detroit has a, main passport agency or whatever. So we drove there one day. I just got in the car. I was like, come on, let's just go. So we went to Detroit, got there, and I thought I would be able to just go in there and get her a passport. And the guy was like, no, you got to make an appointment, but it's kind of hard to get through. And the lady who was coordinating the trip to Egypt, she was like, if you're not able to get the passport, because I had to put money down for the trip for both of us. She was like, if you're not able to, cheap trip, you know what I'm saying, for like, it was at least 2 weeks. But she was like, if you're not able to get the passport, I'll give you the money for her back, the money that you put down for her back. Okay, so the trip was like August 16th, I think, or something like that. My daughter's birthday is August 11th. It was like, what did we do? So we came back, and that was not a big deal to me. Detroit from here is about almost 3 hours. It's supposed to be 3 hours. I had never been to Detroit. I was like, come on, let's just take this as a trip. We went there, talked to them, we can't get it. So we walked downtown a little bit and whatnot, and came on back home. I kind of like the energy of Detroit, at least. People have said that Detroit is a lot like Cleveland. I don't know. I've never really, even though I had never been there, until then. And even though I went, I was just downtown. I was just at the passport agency. So I really didn't get to see Detroit. But what I did feel, how you feel the energy is different in different places. It was nice. I liked it. I liked it a lot better than here. Okay, my daughter liked it too. Okay. But so anyway, so the guy told us, he was like, it's hard to get through. So call on this particular day at this time, etc., etc. I did exactly what he said. As soon as I called the first call, I got through, made the appointment, went back to Detroit. I think we might have went to either the day of her birthday or the day after her birthday. Okay, she was 16. They gave her a updated passport. Of course, not this one. I'm not going to show that one. Gave us the passport, and bam, we went to Egypt. And we had a good time. I mean, it was so hot. My daughter was the youngest person on the bus. It was a big charter bus. The bus was packed. Okay, it was not an empty seat at all. I had so much fun with the late sister-in-law consultant, her niece-in-law, who again, was that her niece? Is that her niece? I think niece-in-law, who I did not know, but I had known her for years. I didn't know that they were, related through marriage or anything. And I had a good time with them. We had so much fun, and it was so hot. Okay, and there were times my daughter was the youngest person on that bus. She was 16, and then the next oldest person, I think he was like 21. Okay, so she really didn't have anybody like her age to talk to, but she fell right in. But it was sometimes I would get on the bus or I would see my daughter in her seat sleep. And I'd never really seen her sleep like that. I was worried about it because it was so hot. They kept telling us, have water, have water. It got to the point where me and my daughter was like, this water ain't doing shit. I feel more dried out. We started drinking Sprite, and that was like more hydrating. And it could be because maybe the lemon in it or whatever, but it just felt more hydrating. But so that was like, a desire that I had that came to fruition, came true. Okay. But anyway, this is one of the pictures that I got. I got two. This is one of the pictures that I got. Okay. I got it on the last day. And you have to be real sensitive. See, like the paper, it's been balled up in the container all this time. I was split there. But I want to frame it and I'll work with it. And the thing about it is, I used to have this beautiful, beautiful picture of the house I used to live in. My grandparents left me and my sibling. And I had seen that painted picture since I was a little girl. So I saw it when I moved in. And I think I saw it in the garage. I was like, I remember looking at it thinking, I remember looking at that when I was a little girl. So I took that picture and went and got it framed, the whole 9 or whatever at, I think, Joann Fabrics. Well, I really don't want to spend as much, okay, for this, to frame this as well. I was just like, what, I'll tell you what, I'm going to buy my own, like, poster frame thing and go from there. And then it's like, kind of, my mind started whirling, okay? And I'm saying that because, like, when I was, little, when I was, not little, but when I was young, lady who raised me, listen, this woman had us doing some everything. I played the flute, the piano, I did ballet, I did gymnastics. I played the trumpet, but I did that because I was in school. I played the saxophone. She had us in camp. She was a camp nurse at this camp called Camp Mueller here, and it was for inner city children. So she was a nurse. When we first started going to the camp, I was at that time, I was too small, too young to be in any of the cabins. So I had to stay with her. And it would be for 2 weeks at a time, but it would be all summer long. From what I remember, it would be all summer long. Now, I remember when I got old enough to go to the cabins, I screamed and hollered. I was always screaming and hollering and crying, okay, because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be separate from her. But one thing that I always said in all these camps and in the schools she said this to these private schools, these very small private Christian schools, okay, with all these white folks, okay, vast majority were, white, okay, and it would be time, and they would have camp. They had a church, the elementary school, okay, it was like maybe like 5 or 6 churches that had they were Baptist. I think the Southern Baptist Convention, I'm not sure, but they were white Baptist churches, okay? And they all had their own elementary school, and then they came together to have it was a school for everyone from 7th through 12th grade, but it was a super small school, okay? And from 7th through 12th grade, it was like 100 students, okay? And like in my class, each class would be like 20 to 23 students every single time. My class, it would always be, we was truly the minority, okay, in every sense of the word. But my sibling, he wanted the lady who raised made us go to Sunday school. I hated Sunday school. I hated that shit. Okay, but we had to get up and go to Sunday school. He didn't like the church we was going to, that we grew up in, my great grandfather's church. So she made us go. So he wanted to go to Sunday school there. So she was like, okay, y'all can go to Sunday school there, long as y'all go to Sunday school. And then they would have this Christian thing, Awana, which was kind of like a Christian. Scouts type of thing, like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts thing every Wednesday night. Oh my God, I hate doing all that shit. Okay, but I did it. But as a result, they would always have these summer camps, camp. So we were always going to camp. Okay, there would be times me and my sibling. I remember once camp we went to. This camp was so fun. I think it was called Skyview, if I can remember correctly. We get there. Okay, y'all meet up by the pool. Make sure y'all okay. We met up by the pool. He looked at me and I looked at. He said, "I'm the only black person in my cabin," and I was like, "I am too." But this was like all the time for us. Okay, so we were used to it. But I was saying all that to say one thing that I hated. I used to hate arts and crafts. Oh my God, I thought it was so boring, and I just did not resonate with it at all. I hated it. I just used to sit there and do what they told us to do with goddamn arts and crafts. I didn't even like art class. Okay, I remember though one class I did like when I was in the 7th grade. I think it was called. Is it macrame? Not macrame. I don't remember. I don't know what it is. But I made a. I used to love the little penguin in that. It was in the Sunday. The newspaper, the cartoons. It'll come to me. I'll have it. Okay. But I did make a lot of stuff. But what I'm going to show you real quick is, it's so funny to me when I think about it, how when I was younger, I used to hate arts and crafts. But when I got older, I started, doing work with my hands, and I found that I really liked it. Like in the old house I lived in, my grandparents' house, I took down all of the, in her, what was it? Her little foyer area, it was not big, it was very small, but she had, what's that stuff from the 70s and the 80s, that wood paneling stuff. I took all that down, painted in there. I painted the living room. I painted the dining room. I did pretty good too. I did actually damn good and quick. I refurbished her fireplace because it had sticky stuff on there because she had tile on there. I got all of that gunk off there. I got the tile, the peel tile, but I measured it all out, and I had to cut it and whatnot. I didn't have no professional tools, okay? I just had the little plastic ruler like this, from elementary school. Something like this, you know what I'm saying? And like a box cutter. Okay, I painted the coat room, the little closet coat room and everything like that. So I found that as I was doing stuff, more stuff, I was like, man, I really like working with my hands. And I told y'all I used to make waist beads, beaded body chains. I love that, the intricate. I just loved it, the designs and whatnot and the artistic flow. So what I do, I'm going to show you this real quick. My daughter, what I used to do with her when she was really young, about 2. Let me look at the date. 2007. She was almost 2. This was the first one we did. January. Yeah, she was almost 2. Because, the way, like I said, the way I grew up is like we were always doing something. Every summer, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we never sit down on our ass and just watch TV. Of course we did. But she always had us in everybody who helped her raise, we just couldn't just not do anything. We were always in some kind of activity all the freaking time. Okay. Junior ushers, I hated that shit. I couldn't stand that shit. But anyway, we had to do junior ushers. Like I said, she always had us doing something, even like not just church oriented, but even outside of that. Okay, so the 2 sisters who were like our babysitters, and we were with them all the time. They were babysitters. They had me since I was an infant. I think my sibling at the time probably was about 2 or 3, and they were teenagers when they got us, but we were so close with them and their family. Like I would call their mother mama. I call their father, daddy. He did too. My sibling did too. I just say he's my sibling for the purposes because I really don't believe that biologically he is. Might be a half, but we were definitely raised together as though we were siblings. Okay, so I just keep it like that for the time being. Um, but they always, I mean, they took us to Hawaii, they took us to California, Florida, Milwaukee, they took us everywhere. And we would just go over there. I mean, it was past babies, I'd go hang out with my 15, 16, 17 years old. I loved it when he went to college because he was older than me. When he went to college because it was just me. So I would go over there all the time and it was a whole different experience by the time, because I was older. So they had me hanging out with them and their friends, you know what I'm saying? And I had a good time, but took us everywhere, always playing games, Monopoly, Life, Uno, spoons, just everything. The lady who raised me, she really wasn't big on holidays. So a lot of times we didn't have a Christmas tree. Now we would decorate our house, whether we would decorate the living room, with, Christmassy stuff. But we rarely, I think I probably could count on one hand the amount of times we had a Christmas tree. She just wasn't into it. She would work. At least that's what she said she was doing. She was going to work. So we would be there with them. They would have 2 Christmas trees. They had a Christmas tree in their main living room, and then they had a Christmas tree in the den. So, they went all out on Christmas and just loaded us down with Christmas gifts the whole holiday season. So I'm saying all that to say, like, with all of that, when I had my daughter, I could not give her the exact same experience I had, okay, because different person, different time, different everything, a whole lot different shit. But what I did when she was little was every night of the week. Now, at this point, I was living with the lady who raised me. Now, let me say this real quick. The ladies who were our babysitters, okay, one of them passed quite a few years ago. She had, I think, MS, okay, and by the time I found out I was in my 30s, and I was like, well, when did you get it? And she said, oh, when you was, I don't even think when she told me when she got it, I wasn't even a teenager. And I was like, all that time I had no clue. And I really admired her strength. Okay. And she worked almost all the way up until she couldn't work anymore. Okay. I mean, like physically could not work anymore. Now, her sister told me she left something for me. Okay. For the other folks that's watching, I never got it. And I do not believe that her sister did not pass it on for it to be given to me. Okay. I never have received it. All right. All right. All right. But anyway, so what I did with my daughter was every night of the week, I would have a different activity for game night, this night, that night. Okay. I think Friday night was free. Tuesday night, if I remember correct, yep, it was Tuesday. I got it right here. Tuesday night was art night. Okay. So I had put it, I'm going to show you some of the little artwork she did. I would be like, come on, Gaia. My daughter's name is Gaia. Okay, Gaia, the goddess of the earth. Actually, when she was a baby, I went to this restaurant here. I've been vegan off and on for years. Okay, I just love good vegan food. Okay, not some of these recipes I find online. Okay, but this was before it became like a big thing. Okay, and kind of a trendy type of thing. There was a lady here, this black woman, on this vegan restaurant off Lakeshore on, I believe that was 185th. Okay, she's not there anymore. So I go in there one day with my daughter. She was just an infant. She was in my arms. And she asked me what's her name. I said, Gaia. She said, Gaia, like the goddess. I said, yeah, Mother Earth. She said, no, honey, it's deeper than that. And I said, well, what? She said, it's the divine mother manifesting herself as the earth. Okay. Now I found out my daughter, when she went to Montessori for 2 years for preschool. I went to Montessori myself. So she went to Montessori, a lot of stuff that everybody do that. You know what you did, you had to do with your children. Okay, what was done with you, you do with your children. So anyway, I took her to the Montessori, and I met a lady there. This Montessori, I think out of that Montessori, it was only 2 black children. My daughter was one of them. And that's another story. Okay, I got her the hell up out of there. She was supposed to do 3 years, but she did 2. Okay, because there was a lot of racist stuff going on and mistreatment. But anyway, I met a lady there. I can't remember, a white lady. I cannot remember her background right now, but she was telling me that that was the feminine, and she said it was a very common name in her culture. And she said Gaios was the male name, okay, in her culture. And I love that. I thought that was slick, Gaios. But anyway, so I'm going to show you this real quick. This is just a little. I had a book somewhat like this. I thought this was the book that I put all of her artwork in when we did art night. I would say, "Come on, Gaia, it's art night." She would say, "Art night." Art night. Okay. It was a book like this. This is not the book, but I'll show you this real quick. This is just I had a little tea party for my daughter, okay? And why is it in here? Because, well, her lady who raised me put this together. I was just not really into doing stuff like this, but my daughter wanted this tea party, okay? I was like, okay, let me do this tea party for, okay? So, I mean, I ain't gonna show all the pictures and stuff. I'm just saying it was in a book like this, and I don't know where the book is now. Like, I moved from my place, my grandparents' house. I was in Cleveland Heights, and then I moved from Cleveland Heights. I stayed there for 2 years, and I went to New York, and then I came back. So when I left to go to New York, when I tell you I have always done this. I got rid of like 99% of my things. My car was packed, okay? We drove from here to New York, okay? The majority of stuff in the car was my daughter's stuff because, she was 18, and she didn't want to get rid of a lot of stuff, okay? She had, Guy, did you have your guitar when we went to New York? Did you have your guitar when we went to New York? She had a guitar in there. She had her keyboard in there. She has taught herself how to play the guitar. She hasn't played it in a while, but she played the piano for from the age of 5 until she was 15 or 16, right? 6 years. Okay, so we didn't have the piano anymore, but she had her. She went and bought a keyboard for herself, which has all the. Don't your keyboard have all the piano keys? Gaia, don't your keyboard have all the piano keys? No, okay. She did, because a lot of the keyboards, they don't have all the piano keys, but there were some. She went to the guitar store that had some. She bought all this stuff for herself, okay. And it was tripping me out because I was like, I didn't think you liked playing the piano, but she told me, she said, it's not that I don't like playing the piano. When we signed her up to play the piano, she had to do all of these, what do you call them, recitals and stuff. She wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, okay? She was signed up at the Cleveland Music Settlement. Old institution. That's where I took ballet when I was very small, okay, and music theory and all of that kind of stuff. Old institution. But anyway, so she had to. Not only did she have to do a lot of recitals, there was this thing she had to go to at Cleveland State where memorize a piece, and she had to be judged, and parents, no adults could be in there. Year after year after year. She did really great. But anyway. Back to the art thing. So what I did was every night was art night. Every Tuesday night was art. So I'm gonna show you some of the art she made. This is the first thing. See, I have it written up top. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says first art night, January 30th, 2007. So of course, obviously, I drew the house, and I drew the tree and a little dog, and she did her other stuff. Now, this is something I think she did probably in school or something like that. But this is, again, she wasn't even 2. Her birthday is August. Okay, she was born in the year 2005. Okay, so this one does say 6'5". So at this point, she might have been, no, she still wasn't 2. Okay. But this was some of her art that she did, And she was 2. She wasn't 2. This is her stuff she did. I don't remember what I did. I was drawing, doodling and stuff with her, but I can't find the book. Okay, it's in there somewhere. Okay, the important things I kept. I kept all of our pictures, stuff like this, all of her accomplishments, all of my stuff. Paperwork and stuff like that. But other than that. Man, you should have seen us rolling around from here to New York. You know what I'm saying? And when we first got to New York, I got my place. I got a place to live before I went. Okay, because this is this thing called rooms for rent. And I called and they were like, the reason they did it, they established it is because they didn't want people, a lot of people still go to New York. They didn't want people coming to New York and not having a place to stay and they stand, in their car overnight because it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just New York shit. That kind of thing is dangerous any goddamn where, but definitely there. And so I got a place and we were staying in Manhattan, way up past Harlem. Which is way up there to the top, okay, of the island. And the lady told me, she was like, the lady where you're going, she said she speaks Spanish. Is that okay? And because that's all they had available at the time, because I was trying to secure us a place to stay. I'm like, I'm not taking my daughter there. And we found ourselves sleeping in my car, overnight. And we got all this shit in the back, in the trunk. I was like, that's cool. So I got there. Should have seen me driving around. Driving around. And I looked, I said, I think that's the lady right there. She was sitting, talking to somebody, sitting on the stoop, sitting on the steps, okay, of the apartment building. Finally got a parking space, got out there. I don't know how we communicated, okay? I don't know how. It was not comfortable for me. But when I tell you this room was so tight and so small, okay? And then I had my job, so I didn't start. I went on, what was that? Labor Day weekend. So I didn't start that weekend. I started that Monday, but I was like, I can't leave her in here. But I don't want to leave my daughter in there. The room was so, for people who know New York, the room was so fucking small. Okay. And I was like, And then we was like upper Manhattan. I mean, like was it Crown Heights? We might even been past further up than Crown Heights, okay, if I remember correctly. But nobody spoke English. Nobody, it was like I gotta get. So the next day, I called the rooms for rent, and they got me a place that day in Harlem. Okay, lady I was staying with in Harlem, she spoke Haitian. Okay, I mean no, she spoke Haitian. She was Haitian, but she spoke English. And we stayed with her a few weeks. Okay, but anyway, this is another thing that my daughter made. Here's another thing. Okay. And I will always sign it for her at the bottom. Okay. This is me. I tried to draw a picture of her. This is something. This might have been something. This was something I did, obviously. Yeah. 2:20 every Tuesday night, because I got Tuesday on here. And here go another one she did. Okay. I don't know. I think I put the something in her hand for her to write. That's why it came out like that. I don't know what this is. It says, love Gaia. Hello. Never a goodbye. Okay, hello. Never a goodbye. Only greets. So only greeting someone, but never saying a goodbye. Okay. I'm gonna show you a few more. Look at that. Is this me? Did I do this one? Yeah, I think this was one I did. Okay. I think I'm not sure, maybe we had some kind of blotter or something, paint blotter or something like that. Okay. Here goes some more of her stuff. My little boobity. That's what I call it, my little boobity. Here goes some more stuff. And I used to love to get a canvas. Here, okay. Isn't that cute? Little baby. Okay. And here goes some more stuff. Okay. That might have been all we did. I don't know, but again, I don't know what a book is. I got stuff packed in suitcases and all kind of stuff back there with the important stuff. And then this is something I put in the front of it. This is just a little collage of me and her. Okay. See how she do booby right there. There goes she go right there. There she go. This was her dad had taken us out to eat. I remember this day. I think we either went to not the Cheesecake Factory. We went to I can't remember that Italian restaurant because it's closed. Well, it's closed there now. I don't know if it's closed all over the place. Okay, just our pictures together. My Snoopy movie. My movie. Okay. All right. So I put that at the front of it. All right. So I'm so glad to have that. Okay. Maybe I'll show some more pictures of her when she was baby. I ain't showing no pictures of her now. Okay. And putting her all on screen. Now she's grown. She's 19. If she wants, my daughter doesn't do social media. Okay. I think she got accounts to just contact friends of, but she does not do social media. She's never liked social media. Okay. And I'm all right with that. Okay. But anyway, say the art stuff. So what I'm going to do, okay, is now again, I didn't want to pay over $100 for the frame. Okay, because later, and then too, actually when I was there, I was talking to the lady. It's like I could have taken the time to say, okay, I want this, I want that, I want that. I did not feel like going. I mean, they had 1,000 different kind of frames. They had all of this. You put this here, put that. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do all that. I did not feel like it, and I don't feel like it. Okay, and they were talking about, the price. I was like, I don't want to pay that much. Okay, I don't need to. So what I did was I got the lady measured it for me, and I got a poster frame. Yeah. Okay, because like I say, I've had these. Let me show you the other one. This is the other one I got. Now, for those of you who might have been sub to my old channel, I used to have, and I still have it. But behind me, in the room that I was in, I had a board up, and I had two papyri. Is that how you say papyri? That I got in Egypt. One with my name and one with an unspeakable's name, because I was going to send it to her until she decided that she was going to smear me all over YouTube, and I kept it for myself. I had mine on there with Kenyatta and Aries, because I'm an Aries. The other one had what I was calling her at the time. Okay. And Scorpio. Okay. But I was like, this bitch won't get that. So my in Vedic, my sun, not my sun, my rising and moon is Scorpio. Okay, my daughter, not in Vedic, but in tropical or Western, her rising and moon is Scorpio. So interesting. Okay, so I was like, so it's not to waste. Okay, it's probably in my suitcase somewhere. This is the other picture that I got. Which bridges. Okay, but I think I'm going to, and they measure about the same, just a tad bit off, but not much. Where I can still get the same size frame, poster frame for both of them. Okay, so I haven't done any kind of like real artsy stuff in a long time. Like I said, I like working with my hands. I like the creativity of it. So I got that. And I was like, I could do something with it to kind of spruce it up, okay? And I looked over and I saw all of this stuff, okay? So I got these feathers and I have something in mind. So I'm going to try it, okay? I was going to do it on here, but I'm not going to do it on here, okay? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take time to do it, and let's see what we come up with. Also, I've always wanted to make candles, and I got this. I won this actually at last school year. The school I was at, elementary school I was at. I won this last year, and it was like, I don't know, raffle or some shit like that. And I won. I just haven't done anything with it, So I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, let me make some candles here. See how that work, okay? Just for myself, okay? Nothing big, nothing major, okay? I wish I've done so many artistic things over the years, whether it's making jewelry. I made my own fragrance. And, I was thinking about that recently, and I want to make it again. But the thing about it is, one of the oils is discontinued. And I'm like, I was talking to the owner at the oil show. I was like, how could that be discontinued? That was like that was one of the best oils in here. It smells so good. And he was like, I do not know. He said, I don't know why they discontinued. I said, what was it not selling? He said, it was here. You know what I'm saying? He said, everybody loved it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But anyway, I think that is it. I think, art, And I was kind of glad because at first I was like, when I said, no, I don't want to pay that much, for the frame. Okay. Because a couple of reasons. I might actually not make this permanent, just something temporary. Okay. Depends on how it comes out. But I used to get a friend of mine that I went to Howard with. She went to the Fashion Institute of Technology. This is when I first lived in New York when I was much younger. We both went to Howard. She was a year ahead of me. She get accepted to the Fashion Institute of Technology. She goes, awesome fashions. I mean, I don't know what she's doing now, but her work was just phenomenal back then. The only thing she didn't care to do was sew, but her work was really good. And she's one told me that, I was like, man, I wish I could draw. She was like, Nikki, everybody can draw, just open your mind. It doesn't have to be, quote unquote, in the lines or a specific way. There's an artist, shit. Let me see if I can find him. Whack. Okay, everybody know Whack. I believe that's his, those are his, what do you call it? His initials. Let me see. If you aren't familiar with him, once I show you a picture, you'll be like, okay, I've seen that. You've definitely seen it, on social media. It's been a while. I'm sure. Here it is. Boom shaka. Like, that. I used to have this picture. Okay. You've seen this artwork before. Okay. If I remember correctly, his story is that no, he did not go to, you've seen that. He did not go to art school. I know you've seen that. Okay. So, I'm not putting anything down about going to art school and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But, art is what they say subjective. You know what I'm saying? Is that what they say? Something like that. Okay. It's just, I just like the ability to create, create. I love to cook, it's creative. I love to create. I used to, when I lived in the house my grandparents left, there were times I would have little dinner parties. You know what I'm saying? I cook and stuff, invite people over. Why? Because I just love it's just artistic, working with your hands and your mind, putting what you see, what you envision, and then making it come to life. Creating. Okay. That's that. Being one aspect of being a god, and bringing what you envision, bringing it to life. Okay, and that's what I would say about what when I would make waist beads. More so, not so much the waist beads, but when I would make the beaded body chains. Okay, which I posted on my community tab. Just the I saw it. You know what I'm saying? The first time I saw it, I was like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to make that happen? You know what I'm saying? And I saw it, and the more I did it, the more creative I was able to be with it. Because I saw it, and it's like, I'm going to make it happen like this. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just looking for some more of his artwork. Okay. I'm going to, for, you don't have to, anybody who's interested in doing things, it really is for yourself. Doesn't it have to be anything that needs to be applauded, by anyone. It's your creative work. It doesn't have to look like, and I tell myself that sometimes with various things, you don't need it to look like this person's or to sound like, your poetry, for example. Like I used to go to some poetry sets, and I didn't sometimes want to read my poetry because I'm like, it doesn't really sound like other people's. It doesn't sound like I'm not talking about those types of things. And then it just dawned on me, and you don't want to. Not that theirs is bad, it's good. And what I'm hearing I really like, but that's not your work. Your work is your work, and that these are the differences. It's like when in Hinduism, I am God. We are God. We are all, manifestations of the one. You understand what I'm saying? God experiencing God's self through various expressions, okay? Infinite expressions, okay? It's all, you know, good. You understand what I'm saying? All right. And it need not be good or applauded by anyone. Do you like it? Okay. But make sure that when you're putting it together and doing your artistic work, whatever it may be, your music, your poetry, your speaking, your channel, your voice, whatever, you just make sure that it is pleasing to you. Don't judge it based off what others will think. You understand what I'm saying? Because how many thousands of people out there may see it? You don't know how all the various thoughts of so many different people. That's too much pressure you're putting on yourself. Okay, it matters not. It matters only how you view it and how you see it. Okay, yeah, people gonna laugh. That's that kindergarten shit, that elementary thing. Usually, people who do that are people who are not in the space mentally to create themselves because they're afraid of judgment. Okay, and hell, if they think it's funny, that's just another expression. That's okay. Well, moving on. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me work on this. I'm going to get this verbal reading together. Maybe I might do it tonight, might do it live. We'll see. All right, but I want to get started on this. All right, I think that is it. And you all have, what do I say? You all have favor. Peace.